Andrew Kaufman here with my week one video submission for Women in Religion, REL 390. We had four articles to read, and basically we had to discuss the theoretical past of religion. The first article was about theory alone itself, and the definition that the article gave was the attempt to explain or account for religion and its role in society as well as in individual experience. What I found very interesting about this, I did not realize how much religion played a role in the modern day society, such as in politics, in uh, sexuality, in how we raise our families. Also, I thought that it was very interesting as far as what Max Weber and his two theories were. One being the development of systematic sociology of religion, and his other, the relationship between the world and I guess modernity. And that kind of transitions into the second article, which is feminist research and theory. And the feminist research and theory pretty much kind of it opened up talking about how religion is or was still is kind of an institution for the social control of women. However, this is where I think the political aspect comes in when the article discusses how women have been able to use religious ideologies to organize on their own behalf and how to pretty much gain some kind of establishment within the church or religion. And they spoke of empowerment, the feminist definition of empowerment. This was really interesting to me because they claim, well, the article says, and I quote, that both feminists and non-feminists have questioned what such empowerment means, rather than power being seen primarily in terms of the ability to get someone else to do as one wants. Empowerment for these women may be an attempt to gain legitimacy for their desires to act on their own behalf. I found this interesting because basically on one hand you have empowerment, what they don't want to define as, which is do what I say. That's not what they want to define their meaning of empowerment. Rather, gain legitimacy for their desires to act on their own behalf. However, it sounds a lot like what the article says, quote unquote, letting women in or letting them in. Women want to be established in religion, so I found that very interesting because they don't want to necessarily say do as I say, but this is what they want. They're just kind of putting it in different terms or different theories. The the third article was popular religion, and the article defines popular religion as customs of an overtly religious in character that are not practiced, such as they say, for example, the birthday or festivals, events that take place at certain times. Like here in Chicago, we have the Taste of Chicago, where they bring food from different restaurants and people gather around a certain time or a season. Um, that season being in the summertime. And I didn't pay too much attention to. Well, I did pay attention, but I didn't really go too much. I'm not going to go too much into popular religion or syncretism because the other two articles were very hard to digest, but both are very relevant in terms of theory. Syncretism, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The article defines it as combining hetero heterogeneous beliefs, usually uncritically. This was interesting and very difficult for me to understand at the same time because it's like saying, for me, I was raised in a Jewish household. However, I follow, I guess you can say, somewhat of a Christian way. Um, and I think this talks, it's trying to, it's discussing the difference between morals and beliefs. One part that was very difficult for me to understand in this article was where the article says, um, God does not exist, meaning there is no white bearded gentleman in the sky, okay, does not contradict God exists in the sense that there is that than which none greater can be convinced. That was hard for me to understand. So I pretty much figured that the image of God doesn't exist, but the Spirit of God does. So I kind of took it like that it separates morals and beliefs. Um, these readings, even though they were short, they were very difficult to understand, as I said before. But going back to theory, the first article, the article says the interrelationships among ethics. Religious ethics. That makes me think about morals and beliefs, religious ethics, and worldly activities in the spheres of economics, politics, the family and sexuality, the sciences and arts, and so forth. I think that definitely that quote there definitely ties into what I understand, what the last article was trying to discuss, and um, I think that theory is very difficult to understand, and I did my best. I tried every kind of note taking, and it's still very dense and very hard. But it just seems like, from what the first article says, is that a lot of these theories came from contemporary thinkers back in the 19th and early 20th century. So those guys did a hell of a job breaking things down, uh, because they sure got me confused, and I have a lot to learn. So this is my video submission for week 1, religion and the theoretical past. Go Sun Devils.